Ethos is a software for sending your designs to the laser cutter. You can draw directly in Ethos, but most people open prepared PDF or Adobe Illustrator files. These must be vector-based. Click on the links below this video to learn more about preparing files. Double-click on the shortcut for Ethos and click on OK for the login window, as there is no password. Open your file using the folder icon. It is best to transfer your PDF or Illustrator file to the desktop before opening it, and make sure it isn't open in Adobe Reader at the same time. The laser has 4 basic styles of cut. Cut through cuts completely through the material. Engrave cuts partially into the material. Kiss cut just burns the surface of the material, and no cut, no laser activity on the line. By selecting lines in your design, you can assign one of these styles from the drop-down menu in the toolbar. If your design is already colored for the different styles of cut, you will need to check that they correspond correctly. For example, on this file I want the exterior lines to cut through, but when I click on them I see the software has assigned the black lines to unassigned. I could change them individually, but if I've got lots of them, it's quicker to reassign the color to a different style. To do this, select the Edit Cut Effect palette icon. Choose the effect you want, choose the color you want it to be, then assign. It's sometimes a good idea to press Rem unused at this point because it will show you how many colors you are using in your drawing. This is useful to see if you've used any slight differences in color. Notice the window panes are all blue, but if we click on them, we can see that they are different styles. They have to be exactly the same color, or hex code, to be executed in the same way. In this instance, I select all 4 and assign them to the style I want from the drop-down menu. If you want to infill lines, there's a process called rastering, which scans a laser over the interior of a closed shape, engraving the fill rather than the outline. I'm going to raster cut this text, but I don't want an outline, so I'm going to choose no cuts from the options, but it's not there. I'll reassign the unassigned color to no cut. Then I'll add a new style and assign that to Kiss Cut, which is what I want for the boxes underneath the windows. And when you add a new style, you have to choose a color by using these sliders as well. As you can see, the text is now no cut, and if I select the boxes, I can then assign them to the Kiss Cut. Okay, I digressed a bit there, back to rastering. Select the elements you want to raster, in this case the black text. Right click and select Properties. Select the 3rd tab, Raster Engraving. Check the Enable Engraving box. Click Apply and OK. If you want to alter the depth of the raster engraving, ask a technician. The software now needs to know what material you are cutting. This is important as all materials have different speed and power settings. If you select an incorrect material, it might not cut your job correctly or could even cause a fire. To select the material, go to Output, Material Manager, Setup. It will not work unless the machine is on. Drop down the Material menu and select the material you are cutting. If you are using machines 1 or 2, you will need to make sure the 50 watt, 100 watt switch is in the correct position. There should be an indication in the Material menu when 100 watts is required, and click OK. If you have a large design, it's a good idea to see how long it will take by doing a cutting estimate. Click on Output from the main menu and select Cutting Estimate. From the pop-up window, select the material you are using from the drop-down menu. Click Inquire from Cutter, which checks the size of your material from the media size you have selected on the cutter. Press Calculate and you should see the estimate time in the cut time box. If you want to speed up this process, you can use the Reorder command, which organizes the individual cuts of your job more efficiently. Go to Edit, Reorder and Reorder Cut Path. On large files this might take some time, but you should see the cutting estimate come down as a result of doing this process. We've reduced it by 30 seconds on this small file. You are now ready to send the job to the laser cutter. Go to Output, Cut Design. Before you press Send to Cutter, there's a few things to check on the tabs. On the Material Manager tab, make sure you have the correct material selected. On the Output tab, it's important to check the rotation box. Unchecked, it doesn't rotate your design. When it is ticked, It rotates your design 90 degrees on your material, and when it's grayed out, it auto rotates for the best fit, although this doesn't work all the time. On the selection tab, cut needs to be on design. For the nesting option, if you want to use your cut data to align to your origin, and that includes your kiss cuts and engraves, then choose cuts extends. If you want to include your no cut data to align to the origin, then choose data extends. Once these options have been set, you can press send to cutter. The laser should now start to cut your design. Please double check that the extraction is on and never leave your machine cutting on its own. You can press the button with a hand on if you need to pause the job, and the same button to resume. On the touch screen, just press the pause button.